Giants and the Atlanta Falcons. It's the final 3 weeks of the season. Still plenty to play for here as we're underway in Week 15. That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. So here come the Falcons now to get the football for the first time. As we get a peek at Matt Ryan, a man who's been in the league since back in 2008.
Just 3 weeks of games left in the NFL regular season. What's it going to take for him to win the MVP? What's it going to take?
Whatever it is, if he wants to strengthen that candidacy, no time like the present.
Yeah, and let me tell you what I think. Not only does he have to play the clean game, no picks, things of that nature, he has to have at least one significant play that we'll talk about all next week. That'll really give him a higher profile.
They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and that'll make this a 2nd and 13.
Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
Now a throw left sideline here is complete. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down. So here are the starters for this offensive unit. Lamar Miller, very good out of the backfield.
And getting better all the time. The more touches he gets in a game, the bigger his impact on it.
To throw is Ryan. Open man is Pettis. It's complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. 12 yards is the pickup. Good for a first down for the Falcons. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. He'll get about 3 as he's brought down right around the 42.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Ryan. He'll let it go, and that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. An excellent gain, 35 yards. So now then, the big play has him all the way inside the 30 now, 1st and 10. They'll toss it to Miller. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. On 2nd down, here's Miller. And now Miller hit, and he fumbles.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. Now a throw to the end zone on 1st down, but it winds up incomplete.
I think we'll see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
They'll run with Miller. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. Driven it down the field nicely here on the opening drive, but now it's put up or shut up.
No doubt about it, because to make that type of a drive and ultimately kick a field goal would feel very disappointing. But I'm just wondering, is the head coach thinking, is this 4-down territory? Might he go for it?
This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal? That's complete. It's Collins. And they're going to mark him down short, maybe by about a yard, if that. A terrific job there to keep him out of the end zone. And now it'll be 4th and goal. And he's had great protection back there to throw, really been able to survey from the pocket.
That means the jersey stays clean, so the dry cleaning bill, that's reduced. It also means the trainer doesn't have to deal with him because he's not getting hit. Also means that he's able to find targets downfield at his leisure. That allows him to be really accurate.
Well, after marching down the field, only getting 3 there, it kind of feels like a win for the defense.
And it does. They'll go to the sideline feeling a lot better that they didn't give up a touchdown after the march against them. But if I were the offense, I wouldn't hang my head over that one. That's a good drive, and 3 points were put on the board.
And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. So here are the Giants ready to start their initial drive of the game. As we get a peek at the former Red Raider and 10th pick in the 2017 draft, Patrick Mahomes.
To be considered for the MVP award in the NFL, it's got to be a season of not just consistency, but spectacular consistency, and he's had it all the way through.
I think you're right. He's been as consistent, more consistent probably than anybody else as the numbers bear out. And the social media chatter for the MVP races certainly start to ramp up. I know you and I have felt that.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Right now, he's in the pole position as we head down the stretch.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. And he's over midfield and into Falcon territory. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top 5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20.
Under pressure, and he will go down. Sacked back at the 46. Now the offense going to use the first of their timeouts. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. Going to need better protection here. 3rd and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Mahomes going to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. Well, the crowd doesn't like that. Was going to bring up 4th. Now it's 1st.
They don't like it at all, do they? It brings them back into it, but really not in a positive way. Now they're angry. That can jangle a team a little bit as well. Passing.
And he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. A great effort there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Giants have taken the lead. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. About set to begin their next drive, the Falcons offense at the line. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
And he'll be tackled at the 23 after a gain of 3. After 7-3 the score on EA Sports. Ryan now off the bootleg. Ryan hit, and he lost the football.
On plays like this, when the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back. Because this is a quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
Now a shot taken on 3rd down, but it's going to wind up incomplete.
But one thing's for sure, when you've got a big receiver and you trust him downfield, you're going to give him opportunities to go up and get that 50-50 ball.
And he is a darn good big receiver. Unfortunately, that time didn't work out. Nice job defensively. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And it'll be Giant football 1st and 10. And New York set to take the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, and you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. And to give this time to the tailback. And a minimal gain here as he's up to about the 47-yard line. Only gets 3 yards there on the heels of the 1-yard pickup. Sets up 3rd and 6.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Now the Giants will use the second of their 3 timeouts. So as they take it over, we step aside. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. And he'll give it here to his running back. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 1st down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Now, this is an example of breaking down a defense because on a lot of these runs, he's getting past the point of attack, and guess what he's doing? Forcing the secondary guys to have to make a lot of tackles.
Yellow.
Operating from the red zone now, Mahomes rolling to his right. This is caught, and he will take it on in for a Giant touchdown. An 18-yard touchdown grab, and the Giants are able to add on to their lead. That's an early touchdown grab for last week's NFC Offensive Player of the Week. He was so electric, and they talked about it all week long. Have to try to contain him.
And now for him, being able to focus on the task at hand and not just immediately assume that last week it totally carries over, but you got to like the start that he has, showing those great hands that we've seen from him throughout.
There's Dante Pettis as his guys head back out onto the field. Well, he's within shouting distance of a 1,000-yard season. Going to need a pretty good finish, though, if he wants to reach that mark.
Well, I like how you phrased it, partner. He is within shouting distance. If he stays on this pace, he's got a shot at it. But he needs a big game in there, right, to make sure that he gets it. So you know that during the week, in practice, and look, he asks for the ball all the time anyway. He's really going to ask for the ball and let his quarterback know he's open.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. Ryan. Throwing right, and that's complete. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. 7 yards there and a 1st down. A 1st down carry now for Miller. And getting this just shy of midfield, they'll spot it at the 49. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
I think they like this drive a little bit better there, partner. Running game helping out, picking up some of the slack. Because remember, the last drive they went 3 and out.
They'll run on 1st down. Dobbins. And he's going to get this past the 50 and into Giant territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. On 2nd down, Dobbins. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. It's a gain of 11, and the Falcons pick up the 1st.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving him a whole lot of credit and thanking him for that much space to rumble.
And he'll be taken down after a short gain as that takes us to the 2-minute warning. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. From the 35 on 2nd down, Ryan. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 9 yards to pick up there, and it's a 1st down. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Here's Ryan to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Khalil Mack, what a season he continues to have. His 15th sack of the campaign. So 2nd and long, and got to be careful not to fall out of field goal range. Now it's Ryan. That's complete to his tight end, Higbee. The Giants going to burn their third and final timeout as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. And 5 in the secondary now for the Giants on third down. From the shotgun, Ryan. And he's going to be taken down back around the 35-yard line.
Quarterback back there. I mean, you know me. Normally, don't have a lot of empathy for the QB, right? In this case, definitely. He's been on constant duress this entire game. I don't know how he's surviving back there.
And to think, there's still a long way to go in this football. Around the NFL, second quarter in Chicago. And the 49ers are out to the early lead. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. The Giants offense at the line, ready to begin their next drive. And with time quickly fading here in the second quarter, not sure how aggressively nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Trey Flowers has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. So we have reached halftime here in an 11-point contest. As we'll send you down to Orlando and we check in. And just like that, on we head to half number 2. Second half ready to get rolling. The Giants with a lead, and they are set to receive this kick. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. New York set to take the field. They built a good first-half lead. Now they have a chance to add on to it.
And what I'm thinking is that the offensive staff spent the entire halftime just working with them on, here's what we think they're going to do to attack us in the second half. Nice first half that we've had, guys, but be prepared for some change-ups. We're going to see them when we kick it off in the second half.
See how they handle any adjustments that might be made defensively. Now, here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
One thing I know from experience is that when the deep ball is thrown and you're the defender, you've got to fight that little bit of panic that emerges. You've got to play the ball really well. It's a 50-50 jump ball play, and guess what? They took a shot. How are you going to win it? And in this case, they managed
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this third quarter. Gonna need better protection here. Third and long following the sack from Mahomes and company. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Lamb. They wind up getting 16, but even that's not quite enough. It's 4th down. And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. First down for the Giants as they pick up 12.
Okay, you and I are sitting up here getting ready to analyze whether they should go for it or not. Did you see the quarterback just point to the sideline and say, everybody back, I've got this call?
Well, you knew this side of the field, they're in plus territory, 4th and 1. He wasn't coming off the field.
No, he wasn't coming off the field, and he wasn't letting the offense go with him at all. He said, we're staying out here, and we're picking this one up. That's some leadership right there.
Now a second down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
7th play of this drive coming up, but a long way to go on third down. From the gun, it's Mahomes. He's got his tight end, Jake Butt. The completion good for only 6, and that'll bring up 4th.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. Now the offense not going anywhere. They're staying out there. They've converted once already on this drive. Here they go again on 4th down.
Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out. Hey, 57, colors, 57. Watch out.
They'll go for it. It's Mahomes. Forced out to his left. And that is caught. He's got it for a Giant touchdown. As his guys are in for 6. And the Giants are able to add on to their lead.
That drive that really increased their cushion felt very military to me. Very precise, methodical. That's one of the words you've taught me. And they just got it done.
And slowly but surely now starting to pull away a little bit. Things looking good for them here in the third quarter.
Not only pulling away, but you mentioned that slowly but surely. You also drain clock, too, with a drive like that. So you really give yourself an advantage.
So that drive consumes 9 plays all told. And it was polished off by a Giants touchdown. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Odell Beckham now marching back onto the field. You look at the numbers for him, and 1,000 yards obviously well within his sights, barring injury. He will get there. The question, will he get there in this game?
Well, he would love to. Duh, right? Of course he would. But, you know, watching him play this year, we often talk about defenses, allocating extra resources to try and stop a guy of his ilk, right? But you know what else kicks in? His pride to say, okay, I don't care how many you throw in my direction, I'm still going to find a way to get open. I will use different moves. I will move against formation. I will come underneath routes and try and run through some people and kind of get natural picks in order to work his way open. He wants to get that 1,000, and he doesn't want...
Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at about the 31. And to the 40-yard line, that's where the return stops.
Brandon, this is a veteran quarterback back there. He should know better than to make a throw like this. This is definitely not his best ball. And I think he knew this was trouble the second it was leaving his hand.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Yeah, another good run there. He's been such a big part of their success here this afternoon. And that last carry, it puts him over 100 yards now for the day.
Right back to him on first down. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11. The run defense, they have been porous at times today, but not that last go-around.
No, they really tightened it up, didn't they? They finally got themselves a win because all game long we've seen them get gashed. This time they played their responsibilities, played their keys, and made a nice stop.
5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves them with 3rd and about 6 yards to go. And the line to gain here is the 37 on 3rd down. Looking to throw is Mahomes. Being chased out left. And that is incomplete.
I guess they figure with a guy who is that hot downfield, who knows how to get the ball into the end zone, you throw it up and give him every opportunity, even though that one fell incomplete.
Yeah, he's already been in the end zone multiple times. Tried to target him again deep there, but unsuccessful. Mahomes throwing on 4th. Throw left side complete. That's Lamb. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 4th down, no problem. 19 yards that time, but now it's 1st and 10. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
On first down, Mahomes. And this will be incomplete. Physical play on the football there, and it's 2nd down.
That would have been a great catch, but it's real difficult to hold on to it because it was contested all the way. Would have been a great play if he'd been able to hold that one in.
They go play action. Now Mahomes. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
I think he's a little trigger happy right there, and it turned into an ill-advised throw into their zone.
Well, we know he has confidence. He'll throw it any place, anytime, anywhere. That time it fell incomplete. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10. Now a handoff here to his running back. And they're going to get him down well short of the first as he can only get this to about the 19. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up 4th down.
Looks to me like maybe there's a little attrition setting in with this drive, because when you see that type of a run, I get the feeling the defense getting a little bit tired.
And that's the last thing they need, especially when they look up at the scoreboard. Mahomes going to go on 4th down. Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. He's at the 50. The 30. Past the 20. And he will score. Touchdown, Falcons. So they go on 4th down. Not only do they not get it, it turns into 6 points the other way. Disastrous.
And many people think you should just go ahead and knock it down in that situation. Turn it over for the offense. But I had a defensive coordinator recently tell me, we see that as a passive play. We don't do that anymore. We want the ball in our hands, and we want to head the other way.
It's probably also instinct a lot of times. If you see a lot of green grass ahead of you, go ahead and grab it.
It's the exact right play to do. That's knowing when to break the rules and when to make a play that maybe you hadn't been taught.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it makes the score 21-10. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's up over 100 yards, and he'll be looking to get in the end zone again.
Has a tremendous nose for it, doesn't he? The ability to pile up yardage and find the end zone, that's the combination you want in your runner.
That's a combination any coach wants, and we'll see if he can find that end zone once more. Now Mahomes to try again after the pick 6. He's going to wind up and air it out. And this is, oh my goodness, he pulled it in one-handed. A big play there for the Giants. 53 yards. Well, it's one thing to grab it with one hand, but when you make a catch of that distance, quite another.
Yes, sir. I mean, that one right there. We keep talking about the high-flying antics that we're seeing from receivers nowadays. Doesn't matter what spot they start in. But when it actually does happen in the heat of battle, it brings me right out of my seat.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
Well, think of it like you would a typical boxing match. The person is on his heels and absorbing blows is having a tough time. And that's what's happening to the defense right now because the offense is on his toes and punching. And there was another first down run right there.
Check, watch 54, watch 54. Oh, here we go. 43. Let's go, baby. Let's hit it.
On 1st and 10, here's Mahomes. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. Back now here on EA Sports. It's the Giants with the football and also the lead as we get set to start quarter number 4. To throw again on 2nd down. Mahomes. And that is caught. And he has now tied the record. Touchdown. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable.
And your first thought is there bad blood that went into this one ahead of time, that maybe they're seeking some revenge or they just don't like them? But the other thing that always hits me is, are they worried about playoff positioning? Right? Are they worried about, do you need enough points in case there's a tiebreaker that comes into play later?
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Falcons offense making their way onto the field. Let's take a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And it's right about this time of year you start to say this is when the cream rises to the top. Week 15, 3 weeks left to go, but still plenty to be determined.
And I think for most teams, the obvious is to try and be the number 1 or number 2 seed. But when you look at it across the league and throughout the history of trying to get to the Super Bowl, the teams you really fear are the ones that get hot and sometimes sneak in at a 5 or a 6 seed, because we've seen those teams actually get to the Super Bowl and occasionally win it.
Yeah, you think of the Giants a couple of times. Steelers have done it. You're right. It has happened and will happen more in the future, I'm sure. And he'll get this from the 25 to the 30 for a pickup of 5. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Ball on the 30. They'll come up with a 2nd and 5. Here's Ryan. And that'll be incomplete. The Falcons on 3rd down. 2 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 5. From the gun, it's Ryan. That's complete to his receiver, Pettis. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. They get 6 on the pickup there as the drive will continue. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Here's Ryan. And he's going to find his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's able to get this down deep on the Giants side of the field. A big play there on the catch and run. 46 yards. Defensively, I know they have the comfortable lead here in the 4th, but they do not want to give up big plays like that.
They want to finish strong. So oftentimes in this situation, you tighten up underneath in your coverage and you bring your safeties back. They can pick up anything that leaks through. But in the meantime, upfield, you're making plays on the football.
What a difference a play makes. A huge step forward and now a small step back as he loses a yard or 2. A rare misstep on that last play because the drive has been strong, but now it's 2nd and 12. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Darius Leonard, the linebacker. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Mahomes now to throw. He's got Jake Butt as tight end. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. Charles, you'd said the magic number was probably right around 20 for this defense because they're facing one of the top 5 offenses in the league in terms. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. The Giants on 3rd down. Just 1 for 5 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that'll be incomplete. Now, they took their shot all right, but it comes up empty, and it's 4th down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Over the middle, complete. It's Lamb. And he'll get this up to the 34-yard line. He'll get 15 and a Giants first down. Well, there's your leading receiver in the NFL in terms of yardage, putting on another clinic, well over 100 yards.
Are we taking notes? We should be, right? Because I'm going to go back and watch this tape and really enjoy what I'm seeing. The route running, competing for the football, just breaking down a defense.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. The incompletion there stops the clock. Any surprise they're throwing here late?
Ordinarily, yes, because you would think enough is enough. They've got plenty of lead, but I've seen this a bunch of times as well. The defense is going to crowd the line of scrimmage. If you just hand it off inside, you're getting your running back popped a lot as well. Sometimes the defense dictates it. If they're going to crowd it, you may have no other choice but to throw it downfield.
A gain there of 30 big ones. So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. They'll keep it on the ground. McFarland. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. 13 yards, good for a Giant first down.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Mahomes firing complete, and they'll bring him down at the 13-yard line.
Let's stop! Let's stop!
So it's Giants football here as we welcome you back. And you'd have to figure they're just looking to burn these final 2 minutes away and get out of here with a victory. And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
I've got an idea. Let's skip racing to the airport at the end of this game. Let's go to the post-game press conference. I have a feeling that the quarterback of this winning team is going to be given a whole lot of credit to the running game of the offensive line.
Yeah, I was just going to say the offensive line, yes, carrying the ball has been key, but those guys up front, they've made a lot of space. Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. And that is caught, and the record is his. It's a touchdown.
Is it okay if I break one of our rules, partner, which is to never call a game over until it's over? Because this certainly feels like it's over after that drive.
Yeah, that was spirit-crushing, wasn't it? And now you just kind of felt the air go out of the balloon.
Yeah, they were fighting so hard to stay in there, and they knew they had to stop them on that drive. But when they were unable to, I think you're exactly right. You could see them sag on their sideline, and I think this one might just be over.
And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes the Atlanta offense now ready to take over here. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
Now Ryan. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. It's a loss of a yard there, and now 2nd down. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Now it's Ryan. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now the Falcons going to use one of their timeouts as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in quarter number 4. Now they'll try to convert on 3rd and 6 after the 4-yard completion. Again, Ryan. Incomplete. He had his hands on it but couldn't pick it. But it's now 4th down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing.
And this will be caught at the 30. It's a big-time play there for the G-Men. 61 yards. Throwing now is Mahomes. Nowhere to turn here, and he's going to go down. Back at about the 37-yard line. Different story this time around. We had that huge gain, followed by a sizable loss here. So a victory here for the men in blue, the New York Giants. And they were buoyed, Charles, by a big second half that put this one on ice.
So you get the sense that whatever was said at halftime obviously hit home. I think it's a little bit more than that, though. Obviously, there are words that are said, and, hey, come on, guys, we have to play better.